Well, ladies and gentlemen, up next, the second half of our double main event tonight. The most decorated athlete in combat sports history, Brock Lesnar, versus the man who claims this is a must-win, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
When I first came back, I was talking about WrestleMania and finishing the story.
Cody Rhodes! He's gonna do it! No, wait a minute! Solo! Not like this!
At WrestleMania, I lost. You want to know what's more embarrassing than laying there surrounded by 80,000 people and not the 2 titles that you came to get? What's more embarrassing is when you have to wake up the next day, chin held high even though you didn't want to get out of bed, looking for retribution, looking for some modicum of satisfaction. And you offer up your innocence.
Is Lesnar here to be Cody's partner?
You offer up your partnership.
Lesnar will join forces with Cody Rhodes.
And he repays it in destruction. Unfinished tale has a whole new wrinkle to it. If the question is posed to me, are you scared of Brock Lesnar? Yes. When Brock Lesnar looks in the mirror, he sees a predator. When he was only a rookie, he looked at The Rock and thought, that's a victim. He looked at John Cena, victim. Randy Couture, victim. The Undertaker, victim. Is that what you think when you look at me, Brock Lesnar? Victim? I'd be crazy not to be scared of Brock Lesnar. But I still want to fight Brock Lesnar.
Cody's blind with rage right now, and Lesnar's enjoying every second of it.
Brock Lesnar is craven and cowardly. I want to make sure that when Brock Lesnar looks in the mirror for the first time in his life, he sees a victim, my victim.
Cody Rhodes just dropped the beat.
When he blinks, I'm going to strike. When he breathes, I'm going to kick. When he stumbles, I'm going to pounce.
Rhodes will need the strength of 10 men to topple the most decorated athlete in combat sports history.
I'm the one that has to win at Backlash, because if I don't, the whole idea of finishing this story ceases to exist.
Make me earn it! Come on!
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Adrenaline in the soul.
brought to you by Fubar, the new action-packed comedy starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, only on Netflix. You know, Cody Rhodes said Brock Lesnar is what Cody said he never wanted to be. That is the gatekeeper. However, now Cody Rhodes believes he needs that moniker, that he wants it.
Cody Rhodes tonight needs to be more than brave. He must be bulletproof because he is in for the fight of a lifetime.
Brock Lesnar is a free agent. He'll be able to appear on either Raw or SmackDown.
All Brock Lesnar does is whatever the hell Brock Lesnar wants to do. And unfortunately for Cody Rhodes, I think Cody made a fatal error in admitting his fear of the beast. We all understand it, but Brock Lesnar feasts on the fear of his opponents.
Brock Lesnar has never explained why he assaulted Cody Rhodes the night after WrestleMania. Cody believes it's because he has replaced Brock Lesnar as the man around here. Whether that's the case or not, one may never know. But for tonight, Brock Lesnar, the most decorated...
Look at him! Cody Rhodes! Rhodes before the opening bell, bringing the fight to the beast!
This match isn't even underway, and Cody Rhodes has launched himself into the beast, and now using the cowl from our announce table to take out Brock Lesnar.
Rhodes knows full well what he's got to do, what it's going to take to topple the beast. The bell has not even rang yet. This match is not official.
Steel steps by Cody to Lesnar. Again, and now Lesnar's down and back to his feet. And a third time.
Cody does not want to experience what Superman did when he met Doomsday. Not tonight. Not at Backlash.
Now with the steel chairs unloading on Lesnar. This match hasn't even started yet. Cody Rhodes has had this pent-up frustration for a month.
And this is brilliant. Again, before the opening bell, this is all legal. There's not going to be a disqualification.
Not until the official rings the bell. Ring the bell! Now he will. Match is underway. Cody Rhodes goes right after Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has not had an opportunity to get out of the blocks at all here tonight. Oh, and now Brock Lesnar, though, gonna drive Cody Rhodes across the ring.
Brock doesn't need to be given an opportunity because Lesnar will just take it.
Cody with a drop down right hand.
Disaster kick!
Off the second rope, Lesnar down back to his feet again. Cody gonna go for a second disaster kick. Brock Lesnar down to his knees.
And the American Nightmare for a moment, staring fear in the face. Oh my God!
And a suplex by Lesnar. Not sure if Cody was going to go for the disaster kick or the cutter there, but nonetheless it didn't matter because Brock intercepted him and dropped him on the back of his neck.
Take a look at this, picked out of midair on our first trip of the night to Ciudad de Suplex.
Nice.
Cody, get back in.
Brock trying to regroup after the early assault by Cody. And if you're now hanging Brock up on the top rope. Right hand and a kick.
And Cody realizing he can offer Brock no quarter. It has been an all-out onslaught from the American Nightmare.
Oh, Brock just caught Cody in midair, fall-away slam with authority. And that's the problem. Everything Cody's done to Brock since this began, Corey, and Brock is still in this fight.
And if that doesn't mentally break a man, I don't know what will, as we look again at the superhuman power of the beast incarnate. Cody's body racked with pain.
Here's the problem. Lesnar's smiling. Brock Lesnar just had a smile break out on his face as the Suplex City chants filled this arena. Brock knows he's back in control. Release German suplex number 2.
Nasty landing for Rhodes on that one, high on his neck and shoulder area.
Think about the punishment Brock suffered even before this match began, and now he's right back in control. These two have never had a match.
And if you wonder what gives, oh my God, the American Nightmare nightmares, the answer, Brock Lesnar.
That was a hat trick of suplexes. Referee Rod Zapato right there checking on Cody.
And look at the wounds on Brock's back from the onslaught he suffered at the hands of Rhodes before the opening bell. Yet Lesnar just continues to move forward.
Yeah, Brock just shaking it off, and now
a perfect combat machine.
Remember, Cody Rhodes suffering a rib injuries at the hands of Lesnar. And Brock realizing that, going right back at Cody.
Listen, I've said it from the very beginning. I don't understand why Lesnar turned his back and destroyed Cody Rhodes on Raw, but I don't think this was a wise decision for Cody Rhodes to accept this match, to demand this match, to want to fight Brock Lesnar. I think we may be seeing the American Nightmare unravel before our very eyes.
On the release German. Again, I said before, Cody came into this match with ribs that weren't 100%. Targeted by Lesnar the night after WrestleMania, when Brock turned his back. Still don't know why, may never know why. As you mentioned earlier, Corey, Brock does things because he wants to. Oh!
Vicious suplex by Lesnar.
Number 5. Make it 6. This could go on all night.
Keep adding to that tally. It may go on all night.
You see these suplexes delivered at this rapid pace by Lesnar. Brings me back to the dominance that Brock showed. I believe it was back in 2014 in one of the most lopsided matches in the career of the great John Cena. Meanwhile,
Cody just exposed the turnbuckle unintentionally.
Well, there goes the pad out into the WWE Universe as the 7th suplex is delivered. And Brock realizing now that the steel turnbuckle is now exposed.
And this does not bode well for Cody. Lesnar stalking Cody Rhodes.
I didn't think things were going to bode well for Cody when he called Brock a coward.
So whatever you got to do to get yourself up for game time, to psych yourself up before a big match. But I think the results are going to be inevitable. Cody's going to be lucky if he leaves here without his ribcage being turned to dust.
That's what Brock's trying to do here. A waist lock or bear hug or...
Oh, God.
Just another throw. We'll call that 8. And Cody Rhodes is he's just been punished, tortured, and Brock's laughing about this.
It's a high angle belly to belly suplex.
So let's go Cody chants, but maybe for naught.
I get it. Cody has forged such an ironclad relationship with the WWE Universe since he returned at WrestleMania last year. Cody puts his heart and soul in the ring each and every night for these fans, but unfortunately they can't help him tonight.
Remember that right hand Cody Rhodes caught Brock with last Monday night?
Yes.
I think that ticked the beast off. Oh, Cody, though, able to duck underneath and drive Brock into the exposed steel. The exposed steel turnbuckle. Lesnar went in face first, and Lesnar, I believe, is seeing his own blood.
You believe correctly.
Cody Rhodes, Cody Cutter. Is it enough? Cody trying to fight back.
Cody now somehow willing himself back to his feet.
The Beast has been wounded. Disaster kick.
Lesnar's face is a crimson mess.
And now Cody Rhodes targeting the open wound on the face of Lesnar. Cody Cutter. Brock's in trouble.
I can't believe what we're seeing.
Stalking the Beast. Cody's a big game hunter. Crossroads. Cody's not done yet. Crossroads. Cover. Kick out by Brock.
My God. Match is looking more and more like a horror movie with every passing moment.
This is where Lesnar got hurt, where he got busted open. He went face first into the exposed steel turnbuckle. And then the crossroads by Cody. That was the second one. Still didn't put Brock away.
Cody now feeding off of the WWE Universe.
Measuring Brock. Cody looking for a third crossroads. Brock though picks him out of the air. F5. Cover. Cody kicks out.
But was that Cody's last gasp? Cody has thrown everything he has and then some at Lesnar. And Brock still able to deliver an F5 that nearly ended this. What, if anything, does Cody Rhodes have left in his gas tank?
We're going to find out as this match continues. Cody with rights to the wounded Beast. Oh, Brock looking for a Kimura. Brock looking for a Kimura lock.
Cody trying to fend it off.
Can Cody survive or will he tap out to Brock in the Kimura? We've seen Brock break people's arms.
If Cody doesn't tap, Brock is going to break his arm. Period.
Cody trying to hang on. Cody off the hips, shoulders down. Cody got him. Cody got him. Cody got him.
Here is your winner, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
I do not believe what just happened.
Brock Lesnar had Cody in the Kimura. Cody was moments away from tapping out. He popped the hips and he pinned the Beast.
Take another look at this. Lesnar with the Kimura cinched in. Cody, you're right, able to use Brock's own body weight against him and pin the Beast's shoulders for 3.
Brock does not believe it. I don't believe it. For tonight, Cody has become the gatekeeper. For tonight, Cody has claimed the kingdom. Cody Rhodes is back on the road to finishing the story. Thank you, everybody, for an incredible 2 nights in Puerto Rico. Good night from San Juan and Backlash.